Good evening, folks. Hello, welcome to SonarFeed episode 199, Two Halves of a Tale. The Tale of Two Halves is overplayed, so we're having a little play on words, if you will.
It's better than the usual play on words.
Exactly, right. So it's a little different today. Tonight, we unfortunately do not have Hugo joining us. He's out there doing the good fight out with the Burien City Council.
Changing the world.
Changing the world 1 week at a time. We give him full support, obviously, and told him, hey, we're going to miss you tonight, but go do work. He's doing some good stuff in the community, which, of course, he always does in any community he joins. So that's good to see. Tom Bureau is off drinking wine somewhere. No, I don't know. He had a meeting to go to, so he unfortunately could not make it as well.
He probably was drinking wine.
He probably was drinking wine as well. But he might try and make it. I don't think Hugo will. But hopefully we'll be there. Or we'll be here anyways. So my name is Aaron Riley, a.k.a. Sonar Riley. Across from me tonight, we're joined by the one and the only...
Dave Clark, at Better Than.
And to my left, your right, is this guy.
Some guy.
Some guy who forgot to start
monkey.
the video. Yeah, he's the monkey who could start the show.
Yeah.
Mark? Yeah, that's exactly how he does it, too. Exactly how he sets it up. So, anyways, how's everybody doing tonight?
It's a good day.
Good day.
Yeah, it's a good day.
Okay.
It was sunny.
I got snowed on twice.
And hailed and rained.
Oh, really? We only had sun in Bellevue.
The 2 o'clock walk with the dog, snow.
Yep.
Really?
The 9 a.m. walk with the dog, snow.
For real.
That's so weird.
Yeah. Downtown was sunny, and then I drove to the airport, and it was rain. And I drove back downtown, and it was sunny.
Out Enum Scratch, Black Diamond Way, they got snow and whiteout conditions.
Yeah.
So, my wife's horse friends all go to an event there every Monday night, and it got canceled.
Yeah.
Because they're like, you aren't driving horse trailers to this.
No. It was crazy.
So,
I mean,
I could.
Yeah, you could, but you're a genius. I came up the hill by the house, and the sky was like black. You know, it was that storm sky. And then I got to the house, and it was gone. And then it started snowing, and it was sunny while it was sunny and snowing at the same time. So yeah,
that's SonarFeed does the weather.
that's the weather. Yep, we're pretty good at that. At least it didn't take us 3.5 hours to get here like last week, right? Is that how long it took you last week? 3.5 hours?
3 hours. Yeah.
3 hours.
An hour and a half to get to Tom, and then an hour and a half to get here.
So thankfully we didn't have that problem.
That was very special.
So anything else new in your world, Mark?
Other than the Jeep, nope.
Okay. Dave?
Nah, dog's healthy again.
Good.
So now we're
Good.
replacing the carpet. We were supposed to replace it, and then he got sick, and that would have either led to him getting sick on the carpet or them throwing our equipment out. So that was good to get. It was excellent, and I'm excited because I get to spend all day tomorrow with Aaron.
I know. I'm excited about that, too.
Yeah.
By the way, there's a debate in the chat room right now about whether or not it's a requirement, which always that we talk about, whether or not people have to wear a hat. The other debate is whether or not we all have to wear glasses. And then the other debate is what is that shit on Mark's face? I'm paraphrasing here.
Wow.
But
You know what?
what's up, man? How you doing? Good
You
to
know
see
what's interesting is you trimmed a lot,
I did. Oh, yeah.
and Mark only got like 5% of it.
Oh my God, that was awesome. It is kind of.
Fuck
No.
you.
But
Fuck
you know what the hard part
you.
was though? It was getting all the
You're
gray
cool.
out of it. It was getting all the gray out of it to give to you.
Yeah.
So.
I had a
Damn.
coworker today say, "Is that a gray hair on my head?" I said, "Yes, you're giving it to me."
Oh my God, that's awesome. Yeah, so I get to work with you all day tomorrow. That'll be fun, Dave. I'm looking forward to that.
I've had the hard learning discovery that when you replace your carpets, you have to move out of your house.
Yes.
Except you don't get to buy a new house; you just get new
To
carpet.
move everything out. Yeah. It's okay. It's new carpet at least. So that'll be fun.
Smells nice.
Yeah, it'll smell nice. Yeah, it'll be good. So I got to go do manual labor tomorrow. Help you out a little bit.
It's good for you.
It is. I see. I have not been on the show. Is this 4 weeks ago? Because I was
Three or four.
there was the holiday.
A good producer would know.
Yeah, good. There was the holiday. There was two last week with my kids, my wife out, and then the week before that I started driving for a company called Wings, which I'm going to promote the hell out of it. I've been tweeting it.
Do you have wings on your car yet?
I don't. That'd be a good idea, though.
Just saying.
That'd be a good idea. But I do have business cards and a referral link. So I will be sending that out there. Anybody who wants it.
All right.
I've driven quite a few people already that are friends.
I've ridden with Sonar.
You have. You did it when I was on Lyft back in the old days. Yep.
I mean, riding with you is more about riding with you.
Yeah.
Whichever when I needed the ride.
Yeah.
Whichever service you were with was what was going to win.
But exactly.
So,
yeah. But the cool part about Wings, in my little promo, you can book me directly.
What if I want to book someone else directly?
Then you can do that too. Once you create a favorite, you can create a favorite driver list. It's nice. I like it. I drove Jacob this morning home from the airport. That was nice. He came back from Houston. And you know what? He used it in Houston too.
How is my little Jacob?
He's doing good. He's doing good. I was hoping he was going to come tonight, but I think he was too tired after travel.
Well, yeah, now I don't know how I'd pick him up because he moved.
Oh.
He moved to West Seattle without
That's right.
me.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'm not bitter.
That's okay. That's all right. Are you going to join us here for a moment? Okay. All right. So,
what?
Other than that, life has been, the last few weeks have been interesting. We'll leave it at that. They've been interesting. Not always good. Have not enjoyed certain parts. Life is good. The kids are good. The wife's good. Some other parts of it's been a little crappy. So
Dog's good?
Dogs are okay.
Dogs are okay.
Ruben's going blind. I think I told that story.
Oh, yeah.
And so, and now he has to go to the bathroom at like 4 o'clock every freaking morning. It's like having a kid again.
Hey,
And,
at least you get to start the day early.
True. Good point. Good point. Yeah, other than that,
I have
that's
to go to
about
the
it.
bathroom at 4 o'clock every day, too.
See, if I had to, it'd be much better, but I'm not quite there yet. So if I had to go to the bathroom as well, it'd be awesome. So I don't know. Other than that, I made a pledge back in December to myself, no one else,
to get
wear
a Celine Dion tattoo on your butt?
No.
Oh, okay.
To wear a Sounders branded piece of clothing for every single day in the off season. I managed to do that. I mean, of course, I have a shit ton of clothing, so it wasn't that hard. But I wore, even when I had like an interview, I wore my Sounders vest. I wore my piece every single day. But it was funny, and I'm leading into going into soccer, but I watched maybe 10 minutes of soccer from the time we left Toronto until this weekend.
Didn't really watch the preseason.
I watched 5 minutes of it, maybe 10 minutes of it. That's what I'm saying. I watched weird. I had this weird disconnected, and then I wasn't on the show last week because my wife was out of town, and I was looking forward to kind of pumping up the season. And then I ended up sitting down and watching almost the entire Portland game Friday night.
Yeah, it's so great. I mean, one of the good things too about it didn't matter this weekend, but if there is a good thing about Portland having being en route,
Yes.
it means we essentially get, in most weeks, we can get 5 games between UDN, Root, Sounders, FS1, ESPN. That's good. Well,
awesome.
I guess most weekends we get 4.
Right.
Because Portland or Seattle is going to be one of the national games
Right.
basically every week.
Exactly, yeah.
But, yeah, it's great. If you want more soccer, if you want to root for teams to lose,
Yep.
that's fun.
Exactly. And it wasn't like on a purposeful thing that I wasn't watching it. I just couldn't. And it was weird, though, to come into the season for the last 8 years. No, I guess almost 10 years. I've been watching like every single second of soccer I can watch, and I just hadn't done it yet. So it was nice to kind of get myself ready.
What's soccer?
I don't know.
Football?
It's been a lot of fun.
You want to jump right into the Sounders? Talk about the Sounders?
I mean, we can talk about those other games. Like, some of them were interesting.
Okay, you want to talk about those first?
Portland's attack is incredible.
Yeah.
It was incredible before they played a shitty Minnesota United,
Yep.
and they took advantage of it. Minnesota United coach, supposedly, he made one of those coaching decisions to bench his 2 best attacking players.
Oops.
Christian, they go by the Batman and Superman
Batman
are their
and Superman,
nicknames.
yeah.
I guess they had kind of the attitude in preseason that they didn't have to work for it because they were back with Minnesota and now they're in MLS. And so
Heath didn't like that.
he's like, yeah, you guys didn't put in the effort. You're not starting.
I mean, it's fair.
And Ramirez looked great
Yeah.
once he got on the field.
Oh my God! If he'd
So,
been in there the whole game, I think it
If
would
he'd been in there in the whole game, it might have only been 5-3.
Right. It still would have been right. Exactly. I'm not saying it would have been different on the result, but
Yeah, like-
you know how it is. You score early or you get a goal early, it
Yeah,
changes the
yeah.
dimensions of the game.
Their,
so,
their back line was
And
Awful.
Ibarra is good too. I mean, he's the,
yep.
so yeah, they've got two strong talents that when they get their heads on straight. Now, both of those teams look like the types of teams that when they win will win in shootouts.
Right.
Yes.
And not like
not a 1-0.
not the 80s NASL shootout, more like the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun. I'm glad Dallas won because I still hate LA.
LA is for assholes.
It still
I
is.
hope none of you wasted your time with Montreal, Philly, or wasn't that
No.
Montreal,
Nope.
Philly? No, Philly, Vancouver.
No.
Philly,
was it
Vancouver.
was it on, I didn't have the feed for it, so
Some people own MLS Live. and-
Yeah, I watched the second half.
The expected goal total between both teams was like 0.3.
Oh, I'm surprised it wasn't a negative number.
Yeah. So there was some good soccer to watch. Some of it was fun. The Orlando opening their beautiful, beautiful stadium.
yeah.
I mean, the
A good
only
victory?
thing, yeah,
I mean,
they lost Kaká
Shocking.
for 6 weeks, hammy.
is that what it was? It ended up being was a hammy?
Yeah.
On grass.
So that's a real downer. But
Yeah.
their stadium's amazing.
Yeah.
Atlanta United, they did not open their home stadium. They're in a temporary facility. Bobby Dowd, the
Georgia Tech.
college football classic place, 55,000 there, which was great.
That eruption of the crowd when they scored the goal,
Oh my God, that was
that was like, oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, they're such a great addition. They're going to do kind of like what Seattle did and bring a whole new region
Yeah.
Yeah.
into the
Online.
league. And I'm interested in who else in the South and Mid-South leans on Atlanta's exposure to kind of follow like Portland and Vancouver did.
Yeah, and you saw some of the violence afterwards, and that was
And that plagues New York City.
exactly. That's more of an NYFC.
They've got that history.
Yep.
We got kind of three teams with supporter groups with violence issues right now. You got San Jose. They had to
Yeah.
rebrand from the Ultras,
yeah.
entirely, and they got banned from away travel for a while because of the incident in Portland. NYCFC has their thing with,
The Red Bulls.
but they've been more than just the Red Bulls. And Orlando City's had some incidents as
Yeah.
well.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was in Orlando where the violence was, not Atlanta.
I apologize. That's
Yeah.
what,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what I meant. I know. I,
No,
yeah.
no,
I
They
misspoke. Yeah.
choked a sheriff. Or
Well, and they
a
did you see
county
the guy who
sheriff,
tried
yeah.
to steal the seat
Yeah, that also.
in Orlando? Yeah.
Atlanta just had a giant tailgate.
Oh yeah, no, sorry. Atlanta was throwing the beer at the ref,
Yeah.
and then whatever else happened. But not.
They-
I mean,
they
shit.
did- they
Like
did
every
the
other
Pinto
match
show.
has a
Yeah.
beer thrown at a referee.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
they had the
They also
chant.
had the chant. We're gonna. I haven't talked to Kevin about it, but we're
Yeah,
gonna
we're
drag
bringing
him
him
on.
Yeah, good. In a little bit here.
Low
Come back to
reader BJ Kev is in
yes,
town
Yes.
today.
Yeah,
and-
we'll grab him on in a little bit here. But yeah, it was impressive. I loved. So Portland's tifo I thought was good for the most part.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bob Ross, of course, I love Bob Ross, so that was it's hard to go wrong. I hate when they
Happy Little Trees is for them perfect messaging.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yep. I loved the Orlando tifo myself.
Yeah, and I need to get a better image of the characters because I think what they tried to do was turn their ownership group into Greek gods. Because the gift from the gods,
Yeah.
and they did like an Atlantis rising from the sea,
But it was
Yeah.
the stadium, right?
and it was
obviously.
their stadium.
Yeah.
And I think the gods that they depicted
supposed to
were
be the owners.
Phil Rollins and his wife and a couple of the other owners.
Right.
And what it was basically a big giant thank you for privately funding a 28,000 seat stadium
Right.
in downtown.
Right. And again, You have more knowledge in general.
But I need to see. I mean,
but that was
when you're doing a cartoon Greek version of old people I never see, I'm not going to be able to. I think that was their intent. Like, some people missed the intent, and I think that's where they were going, because that stadium is a gift from their ownership, essentially.
Exactly. That's how I took it.
Like, the only thing that the city did some land acquisition for them.
Sure.
That was a pretty dead neighborhood, though.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
But it's still it's only like 2 blocks, I think, from Church Street.
Yeah.
Which is kind of their downtown,
It's funny though,
nightclub.
like
which is where the violence happened, was out by Church Street.
You cross the freeway there,
Yep.
and it's just all you had was whatever the stadium that the Magic
The Magic
playing.
Arena.
And then further down the road you have the Citrus Bowl, and then other than that it's just sort of ghetto is the wrong word, but I mean it's run down.
But they're on the near side of they're near downtown from the freeway. Those are on the north side.
They're closer to the freeway, kind of like the arena is right next to the freeway.
Yeah. It'll be. I still need to go there. That's
Me too.
That's on my list.
Yeah.
Did Atlanta do a tifo? Because I know
They did, but I don't recall it.
It was sort of like Phoenix Rising, only it was the whatever their Falcon thingy is.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay,
And then it said,
that one I didn't
What was their
see.
slogan?
it was Unite and Conquer.
Yeah, and that's
Okay.
That's
kind of their
that's-
team slogan.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Because I saw it around the stadium too.
Yeah, and one of the interesting things they're doing is at the end of every game, the man of the match is driving a railroad nail into a railroad tie.
Oh, interesting.
They're embracing that history that they have as kind of the center
Interesting.
of commerce in the South.
Okay.
And so part of that is that the man of the match
Drives the
takes
golden
out
spike.
this big ass sledgehammer and drives a spike into a railroad tie.
It was funny to see feedback from certain friends down in Utah that say, "Well, wait a minute, that's not the golden spike."
Okay.
It was funny.
There are ways to honor the past while
Right.
recognizing that it was imperfect.
Yeah.
And
Right.
the fact of the matter is for about 100 years, it was the South's biggest trade center.
Right.
And now it's international banking and, CNN and
Yeah.
Coke. And,
Yeah.
Fake news.
Charlotte's got a little bit of influence, too, because they got a big banking district as well. But the transportation used to be, if you wanted to do anything, transport any goods around the South, you either had to go through New Orleans or you had to go through Atlanta. So
Sure.
they're embracing that, and I think the spike thing is a cool tradition to start on day one.
Yeah.
And we know what happens with traditions on day one. Sometimes they stick around,
Yep. And sometimes they
and
don't.
sometimes they fade away like the golden scarf.
Yep.
And here come the Sounders. That song.
Yeah. I was just waiting for the golden scarf to come in and have them deliver my season ticket package tonight. I'm still waiting for it.
Yeah, I didn't get a golden ticket. I got both of my. I got my season packages with the
I haven't gotten mine.
Me either.
I haven't even gotten
see-through
an email.
plastic bag,
I was hoping they were going to bring it
summer
tonight.
scarf.
Brian, I'm looking at
You're
you.
not
You were
getting
going to bring it
anything.
tonight.
You're not getting anything.
Darn.
It's a
they
secret.
They took my money.
So we are a week and 6 days from the home opener.
Yeah. Yes, a week and 6 days. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I had to do my hand math.
Yeah.
That's 13 days.
That's Sunday.
So,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
a Sunday home opener.
Yeah. It's okay.
Red Bull banner raising.
Yep.
Two
I
of the
assume.
favorites.
What happened the last time we had the Red Bulls for a season opener?
3-0, Freddie Montero.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that what you're
I
referencing?
remember that. Before we go on to the Sounders here, I want to back up for a minute. So
Okay.
I watched some soccer finally for the first time in a while, and I watched the ESPN broadcast. I watched the Fox broadcast on Friday night,
Right.
which was just a garbage dumpster
boy.
fire. And I'm looking at you, and you're not on camera right now, but it's Adam. He's over here, and from how hard it is to broadcast games.
Yeah.
On a different budget, let alone a big budget. So I watched that game, and then I watched the Sunday ESPN game,
Yeah.
which was Orlando's game,
Okay.
and then I watched part of the Atlanta game, and then I turned it off.
That was Fox, ESPN,
That was
Fox.
Fox, ESPN, Fox. The bookends of that were just garbage. They were
Yeah.
horror. I mean, I
Yeah.
I find it really hard not just because of Alexi Lawless. I can't listen to him hardly anymore, but just in general, and I'm not talking about his comment, I'm just talking in general. Like, the sound quality is terrible, the video quality is terrible, the angles are terrible,
Sometimes you can't help the angles.
I understand that. But it's like ESPN's broadcast which I know it was built for soccer, so it's,
Right.
But that broadcast reminded me why I love ESPN broadcasts, because it was top notch. It felt like
it was
a real
fantastic.
It was amazing.
It was really good.
They shot the tifo, they shot the crowd, they did. They did a little of everything, I thought. And I really enjoyed. I was just saying that I enjoyed the ESPN broadcast. I did not enjoy the Fox broadcast.
No, it was
I don't know if I'm alone in that, but it
was garbage.
It was
And you're
frustrating.
specifically talking about the FS1 broadcast.
FS1,
Yeah.
yes.
Not the local Fox.
No.
No.
Okay.
No,
Ours-
not the Sounders.
So I watched ours last night. They did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I'm not
FS1
talking about.
could learn something from.
I'm
our
not talking
broadcast.
about a Q13. I thought they were that was fine. I mean, I
Yeah.
was at home watching that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
we
that.
produced that. Not we, but
we locally.
Sounders
Yeah.
produced that.
Yeah. So I was totally fine with that. But I don't know what it is. Like, and I know I have a bias against Fox and FS1, and I'm trying to discount that, but every time I watch them, even if I give them that benefit of the doubt, I don't like watching soccer on Fox Sports. I don't know why it is. I just don't like it. It's something about the production values and the quality is lacking for me. So, when Orlando scored that goal, you heard, like you said, Atlanta, you heard 55,000, but then you heard it, and then it dropped, and then it came back in.
Yeah.
And so each mic, and I understand how it works, I get it. But like when ESPN did it, like it felt continuous.
Yeah.
When they did different shots, like they had the whole sound, and I know they mic differently than Fox. So
Well,
It's
it's not
probably
just,
my
it's
preference.
not just miking differently, it's mixing differently. It's your producer standing there saying, all right, cut that mic, bring that mic up, right? But
okay,
there's lots of difference.
There's also a feeling that they're trying to go for, and when you're watching a soccer match, most people watch it. The atmospherics are a bonus. They're not what you're supposed to feature. And part
enough.
of our problem with American soccer fans is they want to be featured more than the game. Like all these, I constantly see people complaining, you didn't mic up the crowd enough. You didn't mic up the crowd enough.
Right.
And it's like, guess what? You don't get that bullshit when you're like watching Major League Baseball. You know why? Because people care about the baseball game.
Yeah.
You don't get that about the NBA. They
Yeah.
care about the NBA.
yes,
But because they're in a stadium that looks like it should be a football stadium.
Well, no, it's not even
It-
that. Like, people complain about games at Red Bull not being mic'd properly. The miking properly is because the American soccer fan has this impression that the crowd is equally important as the sport. And
Nope.
you don't get that attitude around the major sports here. If you're watching a game and you're noticing the crowd, it means you're not noticing the game.
right. But what I'm talking about specifically in this case was when they scored, the crowd is part of the reaction of
Yes,
a, score, of
yeah.
a, of
It's
a
part of
goal.
the story that is
it's
being...
a story.
Yes.
And when ESPN does it, like I said, during the run of play, I don't give a shit about the crowd.
Yeah.
But when you're capturing that moment, and then you're showing me the crowd, and then you're showing me the players reacting to the crowd,
Right.
And on ESPN, I heard a continuous, constant noise. I didn't hear the boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, I definitely get it on celebrations and whatnot. You need that. You need that focus, particularly, like what should be an iconic moment when Ladero went into the snake pit.
Right.
That kind of stuff.
Right.
I hated it as a Sounders fan, but when Fernando Adi went up onto the stand and
Yeah.
played with the
exactly.
He didn't rev it, but he just played with the
Yeah.
chainsaw a couple times. Then you want the crowd stuff. I don't.
See, to be honest, as a father of 4, the last time I heard television at all was about 12 years ago.
Say that again.
I said, as a father of 4, the last time I heard
yeah.
television at all.
Yeah. But again, and maybe I'm not being clear, or maybe I don't know. Maybe you guys, John just says he doesn't understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I
But
understand. What's going on is the goal. The kit goes in. The kit goes in. The crowd goes up. The volume of the crowd goes down, and then the crowd volume comes back up. It's not consistent.
Right, but also half the time on Fox, you don't see the goal. You see it on replay because they're not watching the goal.
Right.
And that's
Torres.
I'm talking about Torres is cool, but I'm talking about the whole production here. Like that's what and this is one example of this weekend specifically. The two ones
Right.
that I saw, but I mean in general, Fox doesn't have a good production values for me. Their production values are lower. I guess that's what I'm really trying to say. So, anyways, but then like the tifo, I wish they would show tifo. I think tifo is important to me. I mean, as a fan, as someone who has worked on it like once, I mean not like everybody else, but somebody who loves and enjoys it. I want to see it. I hate when they cut away from it.
It's important. It's important for so many reasons because it ties into that game. It ties into the culture. It ties into. I mean, even at the Zach Scott thing.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I knew they were going to deploy something.
Yeah.
And so I had to figure out a way to get a camera on the field so I could show that even in that small broadcast.
Yeah.
Because it was critically important.
It was
from my point of view,
and that was great.
Yeah. From all of the work that I knew all of the work that I know goes into it. It's not just for the players there. It's for the people who couldn't be there too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. That's all I'm saying. So
yeah.
Obviously, I don't know. I mean, to me,
Didn't you have one of your cameras inside the smoke at the Zach Scott testimonial?
Our main camera at the Zach Scott game, which was Colton, by the way, at the camera, was right behind ECS and flanking either side of ECS was their smoke bombs. And so for about 2 minutes or so, I couldn't cut to that camera because all I could see was blue smoke. I mean, literally, I could almost not even tell that it was smoke. It almost looked like his lens cap was on it was
That's awesome.
so dark.
I want.
And I kept my other guy who was on the field was like,
Did you roll
your
on
game
that?
cam, your game cam, your game cam, because they had already kicked off and everything like that. So I didn't roll on it. I went to the field cam.
Damn it.
Damn it.
All right.
Speaking of smoke, Orlando City's new stadium, the wall. Not only is it safe standing,
Safer standing. Don't they call it safer standing?
Safe standing.
it's called safe standing.
It is called safe standing.
Yeah,
Okay.
they
It's
don't
not
have
the safer
seats. They don't
barrier.
have seats.
Okay.
They've
You have
got,
an
they've got
assigned
banisters.
spot on the rail.
Yep.
It's not
Yeah.
GA. It's an assigned spot on the rail.
Yep.
Oh, is it?
In their
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah. It's got
all
a seat
numbered.
number.
Wow.
So you can't overcrowd it. And then
they've got
you
the
have the
signs.
railing, and you have and then like the first 4 rows on the aisles are called like
Designated smoke area.
Designated smoke area.
Yep.
Because
I love that.
their group has worked with the city and the team now to authorize smoke deployment. Kind of like the TA does is it's a concerted effort between all three. I believe
Right.
in Portland's case, the TA gets to decide when it goes off. I don't know in Orlando's case who decides when it goes off.
I did notice they had more than smoke. They had flares.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah.
And Atlanta did flamethrowers, if I remember correctly, on their goalposts.
Yeah, little ones though. They're little
I know they
step
had
not
them on
our
the field. I saw that.
They're like a third liter,
Yeah.
whereas ours are a liter.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which
Come
I
to the Berliner
desire.
pub in Renton.
So
We're ahead of the curve.
221 Main
it's
Street.
good. More teams and more supporter groups working with their team and their city to get that kind of limited smoke. That's the way it's going to happen in the United States with insurances and
Yep.
paranoia and those kinds of things. And pulling it off at Memorial was great because it was a good reminder of how that can add to the atmospherics.
Absolutely.
Royal. I can't think what they're called. Shoot, I'm gonna get shot for this. I know, but the Reigns supporter group.
Royal Femmes?
Royal Femmes. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a couple.
They
Yeah.
use them. They use smoke all the time.
Yeah.
It's funny
Queen
that
Anne. Royal Femmes. Queen
the
Anne Collective.
the Seattle School District owned stadium
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
is the one where you're able to get away with smoke.
Right.
Sure.
It's dumb.
Compared to
But you still have to step right across the line.
they have like
To
a
get
spot,
beer.
right? Yeah. I mean,
I love that. It's like,
Yeah.
please walk through this garage door and buy beer.
let's see what's that. Speaking of beer and food, First and Goal launched a hospitality division for CenturyLink Field and the WAMU Theater.
Oh, so it's in-house now?
Yeah, it's in-house. I wrote it up. I don't have the names memorized, but the head chef behind it all is the guy who founded Skillet.
Oh.
He's now at Quality Athletics and State Burger and a couple other places like that. Huge group. He's been a James Beard nominee. So he's the head of it. The primary chef for implementation, like he's the conceptual guy.
Right.
The primary chef for implementation worked at Community America Ballpark, which is where Kansas City played before they got their own stadium.
Oh, okay.
And then he worked at a place called Safeco Field, which you might had
Josh
great
Henderson?
Where's
food.
that?
Yeah.
Safeco. That sounds familiar.
Safeco's got great food and beer. So
Yeah, they do.
he's somebody who has implemented great local food on that scale before.
I'm good with that.
And then they're going to have a chef's council that'll suggest new local up and coming. So we're going to get more stuff
Like Kraken
Kanji and Beechers and that stuff that says, this is Seattle.
Right.
You're at CenturyLink Field and you're going to get the best of Seattle. And that makes me so happy because I love my local. I'm a foodie.
Yeah.
And to get that just made me giddy. That came out on the Zach Scott Memorial Night is when
That's fantastic.
they had that press release, and it'll take time, but you give me great local chefs doing their food in the stadium.
Can we get Hawaii is not exactly local, but can we
Pokey?
Can we get a Sheldon spot?
Oh well, I think we might wind up with Pokey in there by the end of the year.
That'd be great.
What's this new one that's going into Starfire?
Oh, that came out this afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
Is it taking over ZA? There's a new. Oh, well, see. Ha! On the spot, you guys.
I missed it.
See,
I
felt like Zaw was not a good fit.
Right.
Well, I knew
Mad-
why they
Mad-
had Mad Pizza.
Mad Pizza was.
Mad Pizza made a lot of sense because, well, Adrian.
What do a bunch of kids want to eat? Pizza.
Pizza. Yeah.
But there's a difference between just regular old pizza and then fancy.
Watershed FC.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Why are you shaking your head at me, Kevin? I mean, I do love me some artisan pizza. Don't get me
So
wrong.
do I. But I never went into ZA. I never been to ZA.
We had their
Yep.
pizza.
Formerly
Me
ZA.
either.
Watershed has become
This
known
is,
for popular
breaking news,
pizzas and
on-air research.
pie-fold pizza sandwiches.
Wait,
Good job, producer.
Pizza sandwiches?
Yeah, which are called
Calzone.
Most
Calzones.
people call those calzone.
Yeah,
Or
they're all made in house, so it's a new pizza beer place. So
High-end
Za's out,
again.
Watershed FC's in.
It's
Starfire.
funny. Yeah, it's funny. They
Yeah.
keep going with the pizza theme, though. Like,
Yeah.
Finest craft beers and
You did.
ciders available. They have extensive knowledge and value.
Kevin voted no.
Anyway, so that's new going in there. All right, let's go to the Sounders.
One more thing that
Okay, before we
reminds
do
me
that,
of.
go ahead.
So I was looking at Chicago because I'm going to do Chicago away,
Oh, nice.
and a friend of the show, Michael Hadley, wrote the travel guide. I was very disappointed. He had a section labeled pizza, but then distinctively talks about casserole.
Oh, the
Aaron just killed Mark's
Chicago
mic.
casserole?
Yeah, I almost
Yeah.
fucking.
I've had that
ki- I
before.
almost,
I've had Chicago casserole before.
it is the best pizza made ever. Period. There we go. End of
I
story.
haven't had pizza in Chicago.
Dude, I've had some
thought you were
thin,
educated.
soupy stuff from
I had this stuff that
like
came in
outside
like
of
this,
New York
like
that
this
I needed a
casserole
spoon to
dish.
eat
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Came in like a casserole dish. It was
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 inches
Yep.
deep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's called a deep dish pizza.
No, it's called casserole.
No.
It didn't taste like pizza.
People are allowed to like what they like. They can be wrong about it too.
I'm taking you to New York.
It's
I've
good
been
stuff,
to New
man.
York. I've eaten New York pizza. I like New York pizza. Pizza's good.
And you have to the New York pizza. You have to fold it over so that you can. You don't.
Yeah.
Are you shaking
get the
your head at
grease
me
all
too?
over?
What? Yeah.
Slash
no, like,
soup.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
People are allowed to like different things.
I
They're
wish-
wrong. They're
I
Mark.
agree.
I
No,
wish
he's
Tom,
wrong,
I
but-
wish Tom was here to back me up.
Oh,
Well, Tom's wrong too. I don't give a shit. Deep dish pizza is one of the best. Pizzas
I just
out
remembered.
There.
I got a box of tagalongs at home.
Oh, nice. There you go. The best cookie.
Yeah.
He didn't say Thin Mint, so I'm not mad.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck you, let's talk about the Sounders.
Jesus Christ, I hate you. It's funny. I'm glad you brought that up, though, because I saw your damn tweet, and then I got busy, and I didn't get a chance to fucking say anything to you.
Good.
Casserole. You're a little bitch. You know that? Jesus Christ. Anyways. I like pizza, too.
They're the
I like
best
all kinds of
friends,
pizza.
All pizza
spending
matters.
so much time together.
Yeah, so
Okay, so
Sounders.
They lost 2-1.
Oh, well.
So are we focused on
Season's over.
2018 at this point, or 19?
It's time to picnic.
Time to picnic. Okay. So I had been off Twitter all week, and then I came back for some stupid reason during the game. And in the first half, it felt like there was a lot of concern. Oh, big concern. I'm not going to lie. I was sitting there, too, because I had just gotten home from driving, and I poured myself a drink and had a fire going, and was watching the game, and it was a rough first half. It was sloppy. It looked like a preseason game. And again, I'd only watched 5 minutes of the preseason. Like
Yeah, and they didn't really play a lot of preseason with the first 11.
Right.
We've got a couple issues that were going on with the Sounders and their loss, particularly in the first half. One, they had to start their third string right back because both Brad Evans and O'Neal Fisher are out.
Outright.
And Houston went at Gustav Svensson aggressively.
Yep.
Two, Osvaldo Alonso was in only his second game of the year. He played only one preseason game. He's not at full fitness. He and Christian Roldan didn't play well together. And Nico Ladero probably had his worst game as a Sounder.
Worst first half for sure. And
Worst game.
Worst game, okay. But the first half, he was really bad.
Yeah.
He was really bad.
And, you've got, when all of those things are wrong, your team's not going to look good. And that was problematic. So.
Okay.
They'll probably not look. I think it was Jeremiah said it was like the second or worst game of the Schmetzer era, the Portland drubbing.
Yeah. Being the worst.
Yeah, and then halftime adjustments were made. Played a lot better. Jovan Jones looks great.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah.
He and Stefan Frey were the two that had good to great games.
Yep. I agree.
Clint Dempsey went 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen that since August.
Yeah, of last year. Yep. I'm good with that.
So.
Yeah, it was one of those things. It was, the first half was rough. We made some adjustments I thought were really good adjustments. We were sloppy on a couple of plays to let the 2 goals in. Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know if we're sloppy.
It felt sloppy.
A giveaway 45 yards out that results in a 37-yard goal, that's not necessarily sloppy. A 37-ish yard goal is just stunning.
The lead up to it, not clearing it, and the way I'm not talking about the goal itself on that one. The lead up to it and what it did, and then Ozzy and Roman not stepping up, and Clint's giveaway. It was sloppy. It was a
Roman was pretty tight to quit though on that shot. Because what you're trying to do is just close off most of the goal mouth at that point.
Yep.
And he did that.
Yep.
And
it was a great goal.
It was almost perfectly placed in the upper corner.
Right, but again,
from that far out,
you can have a sloppy goal that results in a goal. The goal may be tactical, but the goal shouldn't have been scored if we weren't being sloppy the 10 seconds before it. Clint gave up a really shitty ball. It was a really poor. He had a lot of bad touches. He scored a goal, which was great, but he also had a lot of flat touches. To me, if he hasn't let that ball run 10 yards like the 4 other times he did too, that's what I'm saying about sloppy. To me, that's the sloppy part about it. He directly led to that goal, in my opinion. And then the guy scored a freaking bomb. It was a beautiful goal. Yeah, but that's where I'm at. So
there are places on the field where you're able to be sloppy, and that was one of them.
Sure.
It's not like it was shitty passing on the back line.
Correct.
It's not like they left him unmarked.
Agreed.
I think Alvaro was supposed to be on the receiving end of that pass, if I remember correctly, Fernandez, and he's been ripped online. I still haven't figured out why, because I thought he was just
average.
There.
Yeah, he was average.
They didn't lose the game because of him, and they weren't going to win the game because of him, but I have trouble blaming the offense for that goal, whether or not they were sloppy. When you have a giveaway that close to the midfield, it shouldn't matter because normal players don't take that shot. And if Quieto decides to pass it around, all of a sudden Seattle's defense is set and they're fine.
Right.
So,
okay. All right.
that's me.
Yep. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I just do the show, so
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
have a fucking clue. What
I'm not
talking
saying
about.
that.
I didn't say you did, but I'm just saying. To me, it was with the first half. The whole first half was sloppy as fuck. It was annoying to watch. It was really annoying to watch. It was sloppy. But was I worried? I wasn't, because it's the first half of 34 games for the season, and they hadn't played together. You said it. You said it best. The 11 hadn't played together. So, and we have an 11, or we have at least the front. There's some pretty good talent there that if they don't play together, they don't gel, you're not going to get good results. So, second half we came out and we performed great. Jovan Jones was man.
It was an entirely
amazing.
It was an entirely different game in the second half.
Absolutely. The
You know what's funny is starting on the road sucks.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ask Minnesota. And yet, still the Sounders had depending on whose expected goal metrics you look at, they had the fourth or fifth best road performance of the weekend.
Who did?
Seattle.
Oh, right. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they were goal dangerous more than just Clint scoring. There was some danger. Heck, if any of the attacking players were where Torres was when he got that final pass and launched a satellite.
Yeah, headed it into orbit.
No, that was with his foot.
Oh, there's another one that he headed just.
The one just before the whistle went.
That's right.
Yeah. That. There were. I mean, Jovan Jones is there. Roldan. Maybe Alonso. Clint. Will Bruin. It's good things could have happened, but they didn't. Wingo.
Yeah.
I think it was Wingo's pass.
It was. If he would have been there for his own pass, that would have been impressive. He would have been my man of the match.
That would have been like the Nathan Hale basketball player.
It would have been. So we had two subs, right?
Yeah.
Wingo and Bruin.
Yeah.
Right.
You mentioned Bruin about as many times as I did throughout the game, or where I saw him. I'm half joking, but he had the one foul. Other than that, I didn't see him, and it could have just been where we were at. Wingo seemed to be very involved and played amazing. So I wanted to get your opinion on the two subs, because
can't say this enough about Wingo. Wingo was kind of a Brad Evans-ish college player.
Okay.
He'd be the central midfielder or a box-to-box wide guy, and he just he'd move. He was athletic, but wasn't a goal scorer, wasn't technical, wasn't a passer. And all of a sudden, he looked at the challenge of making an MLS roster and playing. And you're seeing this technical play. You're seeing him direct onto goal, flashing in and crossing, and you're like, oh,
okay.
A lot of kids get to this level and they play tentatively, and that can be a problem for them because it costs them contracts. And Wingo's the exact opposite. He's like, I'm finally here. It's time to do it. It's time to do everything I've dreamed about.
Yeah.
And he isn't showing any sort of caution or fear.
No.
And that's a lot of fun. In a lot of ways, he reminds me of Nagel in his approach to when he gets the ball. Because when Nagel got the ball, he wanted to do one of two things. He was either going to score or he was going to assist on a goal. Everything was about going at an angle that was directly towards the center of the net. And Wingo, for the most part, is in that orientation where he is pushing and pressing to change the game. It isn't not patient possession.
Yeah.
It is. It's a desire to make a difference,
Yeah.
and it's great.
And it showed.
And you need that. You need a couple guys like that. You can have great possession players. Fernandez, Ladero, Dempsey are all great possession players.
Yep.
Sometimes you need a guy that's just like, I'm going in on goal now. And right now, I think they have Jordan and Wingo that are doing that. Jovan Jones will do it once in a while
Right.
from the left back.
Right.
Where it's just like, damn it, I'm going in on goal.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
he was almost at the top of the circle at one point during the game, and I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, dude.
Yeah. That was a good shot though too.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to watch him do that.
He can make a difference. It's good.
We had like 64% of the possession, or 66 or something like that. I mean, it was quite amazing. And even at the end of the half, we still had the dominant possession, even though it didn't feel like we had performed. But we had a significant amount of the possession. I was trying to look it up here. What? Oh, sorry.
They're talking.
Okay. I was like,
The
anyway,
live audience is distracting Aaron again.
It did.
which
Totally did.
It's really
That
easy
happens.
To do. All you have to do is
Kevin
this.
has that effect on
He
people.
does. It's all me. Don't worry.
It's not the audience's fault. It's Aaron's fault.
We had 64.1% of the overall possession for the game, which was interesting.
I'm going to
me.
try to break that into thirds here.
Okay.
See if I can get fancy, but it might take
Okay.
a little bit.
Okay. So while we're doing that, Bruin was there. Did he do anything? I mean, that I didn't see. I'm not trying to be negative on him. I'm just trying to say I didn't see him do anything other than make that one foul, and that was it. And he was, I didn't see it. So I was kind of, not that I expected him to come in and score 5
What's
goals.
great is
But I was just curious.
we got what we needed from Bruin, and it's not going to be game changing. But the fact of the matter is they have a 27-year-old with 6 years of experience with 50 goals, and he's your first attacker off the bench.
Right. Exactly.
That's pretty awesome.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So passing in the final third. Sounders had 82% completion in the final third, and 184 passes in their final third. That 184 is to just 103 for Houston,
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
and they only completed 64%.
Wow.
So, yeah, Houston went up early, and that changed their available posture.
Yep.
And they're really going to run a really aggressive counter.
Yep.
They're doing a 4-3-3 this year, and they're leaving it's a 3-3.
There was a while the game was just
They're
wide
leaving those
open.
3 forwards up, and they're going to counter through them, and it's going to be high risk. They're going to run and gun, which we know can be a lot of fun. Remember
Yep.
the Oba Clint era, winning a Supporters Shield?
Yeah.
That was a run and gun team.
Yep.
Somehow Chad Marshall won Defender of the Year on a team that gave up like the 7th most goals, and it was because of the way that he the team, when you did like tempo based metrics,
Yep.
didn't actually give up a lot of goals based on possessions. It's just they gave up a lot of possessions because they were just running and gunning all the time. It was like the old Phoenix Suns offense in the NBA.
Sure.
So
Aaron's still mad.
you guys are all texting each other, and I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, no, I'm just fucking marking his damn pizza thing. It pisses me off. I'm still mad about that. So, Mickey has a good question, but we'll come back to that in a minute.
We got you, Mickey.
What about the rest of the Sounders game? Anything else? I mean, like I said, I was the second half. I scared the shit out of the kids and the wife, so I consider that a success. When Clint scored that goal, I yelled, and the kids and wife were like all looking at something else, and they were all like, "What the hell just happened?" And so that was worth it for me. I'm happy about that. So I mean, that was a success.
I joked around. I was managing the Twitter during that game.
Yeah.
For Sounder Heart, and I said, "Can people stop trying to shoot to Stephen Fry's left?" Because so often he had almost the exact same save as the save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some idiot was like, "I'm going to go to Fry's upper left," and he's like,
No.
I got one hand, and that's
Yeah.
all I need." So that was a lot of fun. I'm really excited for Fry this year.
Yeah, me too.
It's going to be a blast. So
Okay.
Those new boots that Fry has
Oh yeah, those are nice.
and the gloves, the blue.
Yeah.
do you know what Stephen Fry did at YachtCon? This is such a great.
He brought a pair of gloves
Yes.
and said,
He
"Can you
walks
add
in,
this?"
yeah, and he just goes, "Hey, I got these gloves. Can you add them to like an auction or whatever it is you're doing? I'd just like somebody to have them. They're the
Yeah.
preseason gloves. I haven't even washed them yet. I used them today."
Oh damn.
Yeah. Like,
And then I'm like, sure. Go up to Emily and I'm like, can I have a Sharpie? Because Stephen Fry's donating gloves.
Aaron literally was that emoji with the heart eyes.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
it was really incredible
I'm
to
sorry,
have him
Dave, not Aaron.
Yeah.
You're
Who
Aaron.
ended up getting those?
That's
do you
Dave.
remember?
I need name tags.
I do not. Yeah.
Okay.
Colin has a question here, which is interesting.
I love me some Colin Lamont.
Oh, me too. Colin's one of my favorite Twitter
Why
follows.
does that not show up for me yet?
I don't know. Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, it's weird. Huh. Combo of Ladero and Dempsey and JMO. How much better will they be in 3 to 4 weeks? Which is also a question I had. When you look at the starting lineup of yesterday, or of Saturday, excuse me, do you run out the same starting lineup for, again, assuming the same injuries are happening? I'm not talking about that. If you look at the available 18 players, do you keep the 18 or the 11?
Yeah, the only question I've got
18?
is the only.
Do you put
If I'm Schmetz, the only decision I'm making is Fisher fit enough to start over Gustav?
Okay. A lot
That's
of
my only decision point.
no Wingo for you yet. You don't think Wingo is
He had
gonna
5
be-
minutes, guys.
I know. But hey, have you watched the show?
I think
Do you know me?
Is it overreaction Monday?
Yes.
It is
no.
overreaction
No, I'm not.
Monday.
I'm not trying to react, but we like certain players, and I liked him. He's not.
I like what he brings, but
He's not that level. That's what I'm asking you. He's not at that level. You would not bring him on.
I
And then
like
let's
a
follow up with
lot of what
Collins.
Flacco offers, particularly because, one, he's a better defender than Morris and Dempsey is. He's a better possession player than
Okay.
Morris.
Okay.
Like he does some stuff with his patience and possession, and his ability to get back defensively this year is necessary.
Yep.
And this is one of the interesting things about this team is by the end of July, he'll be on the bench. I'm certain of it, because they're gonna have another designated player, and maybe Henry Wingo wins a spot, and maybe Harry Shipp wins a spot, maybe Aaron Kovar wins a spot. Those
Here.
Flacco, Kovar, Wingo, Shipp,
Yep.
and Bruin are essentially competing to be the fourth starter.
Right.
And it's very likely that those guys are all bench players in August.
Absolutely.
What's also awesome is we're talking about a 2010 World Cup player as a bench player.
Yep. So
Yeah, welcome to
back to
MLS
back to
3.0.
back to Collins. How amazing are the three of them when they get healthy / not healthy?
I
is the wrong
expect
word.
them to look awesome
Gel.
next week.
This coming in Montreal.
Yeah.
I think the second half was
They-
a good indication.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
They
That's where
didn't
I'm
take
at.
long to gel last year when Nico had just shown up.
Yep.
How many
Mo-
games did they play before with all three of them?
Was it like 8 or something like that? Or
No,
6?
only 4 last
Four.
year.
Oh, it was only 4.
Yeah. And they scored 5 goals in 4 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the hard issue came up.
Yeah.
So what we have here is they didn't have any sort of preseason together really between Nico took the first week off because
Yep.
he got married. Jordan was at U.S. national team camp.
Clint was slowly
was
integrating.
still
coming
on this
back.
recovery
Yeah.
path. So,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
So you think this week they'll be back to mostly gelled?
Yeah.
Ozzy, is he back? Is he back? If he was what, 60% ish, 70%?
I almost have this dream where O'Neal Fisher is back enough that he can start,
Okay.
and then I start Svensson and Roldan
And rest Ozzy.
and just continue. I mean, Ozzy was a very late addition in preseason for training and whatnot, and
So you give Ozzy just the end. He's a mop-up player. 60
remember
minutes.
he
Yeah.
had, what was it, 14 shots on that Saturday when they won MLS Cup because his knee was that
Yeah.
messed up.
Yep.
So
Chris Jarrett in the chat room here. Montreal better. Wait for it. Brace for impact.
Well done. Well done.
Come on, that was pretty funny.
I like
got
that
it.
Dave just
Kevin's
shook his
off screen,
head.
like shaking his head over there. Any other Sounders stuff before we have an S2 question, and then we're going to bring Kevin in a few minutes here too.
I think that's it for the first team. I mean,
Okay. Again, I mean, I jokingly said when you came in, like the season's over, whatever, but it's not, right? I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, Clint scored a goal. I think it was amazing. I mean, that I think was huge for him. I mean, you think about it, right? It's like riding a bike, right? When you crash your bike for the first time, you get back on it, you're going to get it going. He had a rough End of 2016, right? Personally.
Yep.
He got back on and scored a goal in the first game.
I'm excited for that.
I am too. I think that's great. All right, let's move on to S2 then real quick. Here's a question from Mickey. That S2 write-up from Sounder Heart was horrifying. Honestly, I haven't read it. I didn't see it.
Yeah, it wasn't the write-up that was horrifying. It was S2.
No.
That
Sorry.
Mickey explained later.
It was the realization.
That Sounder
it
Heart
was
article was
honesty,
terrible.
The subject matter was horrifying,
Yes.
not the article.
The article was okay. The reporting was okay. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But the S2 write-up was horrifying about S2. What's going on with that team? Do you have any
they're
comment on that?
really I mean, they're pretty much only giving guys a year to show that they're first team capable. Zach Mathers did it. But if you look at the other S2 players that were trying to make the first team roster.
Yeah.
Oh, Jordy Dellum did it.
Yep.
Who's the other one? Forgot. Michael Nelson didn't do it.
Yeah.
Aliad Hodzig didn't do it. And,
He was one of my favorite last names, by the way.
it's tough because if they've got that 1 year, Jordan Schweitzer felt that he would be more likely to get first team time if he went to Orlando. Although I have a feeling the Sounders would have kept him if he didn't get as big a contract.
For really?
From Orlando.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, from Orlando. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They would have been okay with keeping him.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're going through that turn, when you're basically giving a player 1 year to prove it, and we've seen it 2 straight years now, it means that there's going to be a lot of turnover. So the players that are coming back, here's your very long list: Carlos Irvin Parwa. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Because Lorenzo Ramos got signed to an S2 contract. He was an academy player for the past 2 years with S2 time in both seasons. The only other player they have under contract is Stevens. Can't remember his first name. He's a CONCACAF U20. And then they have some others that are trying out. One of the interesting things is a guy that they found in open trials was his name is Thomas. He's a forward. He's an American forward, but he played in Belize last year and made the CCL, where he has 270 minutes of CCL time already. And it's like the only time Belize has made the CCL because they finally got their lighting situation fixed. They only get one team injured, and most of the time it gets kicked out. So he's on the Belize Champions.
Okay.
Forward, American contract. Went to one of the open trials because they did like 3 S2 open trials this year.
Yeah.
One in Starfire, Vegas, and Charlotte, I believe, North Carolina.
Okay.
One of the North Carolina cities. So, yeah, and Mickey brings up that Ojong isn't there.
Ojong, yeah.
And Ojong, I loved Ojong.
Where's
he had a
he-
rough
where's he
first
at?
3 weeks. No idea. Wasn't brought back.
So he wasn't at S2 or at Seattle U yesterday.
No.
Okay.
So high turnover.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot more academy kids like those. There were 7 academy kids that trained with the first team at least one day.
Okay.
Now 2 of them are keepers. You have Ezreal Gonzalez, who's only 15, who got injured on day 2 of training camp, so he didn't make a lot of trips. Shannon Hapo, out of Maui, fringe youth national team player. Sam Rogers, who's going to go to Villanova unless the Sounders sign him beforehand. He is a giant. He's already 6'3", 6'4", defensive midfielder, center back, hybrid type player. Soft feet. What's interesting is he's that big, doesn't tackle very hard yet. That's one of the things where he needs to improve. If Rogers turns into a tackler with that size body, he's going to hurt people, which might be why he doesn't tackle much.
Right.
Dave Olson is out of the academy, still trying to make S2. Who am I missing? Hop out. George Armstrong out of the U18s, used to be with Gladbach in Germany. American kid that went over there for a couple years and then came to S2. He'll probably be on the roster quite a bit. And Jake with the good hair, Morris, the left back, center back hybrid.
Okay.
Who, if he can stay slight, will be a left back. If he continues growing, it's one of the interesting things when you're talking about these 17-year-olds.
Right.
Like, if he puts on 4 inches, he's not going to be a left back anymore. You're not going to have a 6'4" left back.
No.
And he could do another growth spurt. So there's some exciting academy players. S2 is going to look more of a development squad than a refinement squad this year. It's going to be a lot more of the under 21s rather than that 23 to 25 college graduate.
Okay.
And I think in a lot of cases, the college graduate aspect is going to be more of the academy talent. Kyle Bjorntham, Dave Olson types, Lorenzo Ramos, who didn't go, maybe an Isidro Pradahuerta, who I would expect to see there soon, because college isn't.
Yep.
You've had Isidro on, right?
Yep. No, I haven't. We've talked him off the air.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been on yet, yeah.
IPH wants to play soccer.
Yes.
He'll do
And that's
whatever
what he's
it
good
takes
at.
to play soccer.
Exactly.
So, yeah, sorry. Long chat there, Mickey. Sorry. I hope they find a way to get Marco Zhang back because I think he was a game changer at that level, and it's a shame that he's not on the team. 19. I thought he was more talented than Nuhu Tolo or Jordy Dellum, and both of those got signed to the first team.
Do you think with Kurt coming in that we take this year and we bring it to now we start to build?
Well, he was the interim last year. We're in. Garth is more influential within the overall organization. I think we're going to see. It's going to be more consistent. We're going to see patterns. So that'll be great.
Okay.
We're going to have that level of consistency with the team.
Okay. All right, shall we bring in Kevin?
Yeah, let's bring in Kevin. And we're going to kick Adam.
Adam, thank you for
You
being
guys probably didn't know
off
I
of
was
his
here.
half mic.
Yeah, you were on.
That was at Weigel, Wygle, who.
Which, by the way, I'm going to put you on camera for a minute. Hold on.
Hi, guys.
There you go. That guy right there.
Yeah.
You see that guy? If you need any video and audio stuff, hire this guy.
Streaming or
Bootstrappers.
otherwise. Speaking of, really quick, back to S2 streaming, the broadcast this year is going to be a huge, I would say, jump from what we had.
The
last
production
year.
values,
The production values, yeah.
So will it be FS1 levels or ESPN levels?
No, the graphics are going to.
Graphics
Sorry.
are better.
Better than
we have a better
SonarFeed.
graphics package than we had before. We upgraded our cameras. They'll do better than that wonderful lighting at Starfire.
Oh, yeah.
That's difficult for you.
Yeah, it is.
But, so anyways, just,
I heard some great things. I think every independent team in the league now has at least 50% of their games are on local television.
Oh, wow, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, Charlotte even got a local TV contract now. Reno already has one. And what they're doing for the most part is they're the feed like that you're producing.
Yeah.
They're using those local internet specialists.
we have to-
the upgrade in graphics and everything is so that the
unified.
independent teams like the FC Cincy's, the Louisvilles,
Yeah.
the Renos, the
Right.
Sacramentos, the Charlottes, the Tampa Bay,
Yeah.
can depend on people, the Adam Weigels of what? There's 31, 32 teams. So
Some of it's changing how each team is doing it, but yeah, in essence, the consistency is going to be a lot greater. They've had some basic guidelines for the last few years. This year they're enforcing them, and I mean for us it's already where we were pretty much.
that leap
But
to,
yeah,
particularly for the independent teams, they
Yeah.
want to be that D2 status. It's very important for
it's
them
very big.
to be a national league that is
Right.
that's considered fully professional.
Yeah.
It's funny, they want that at the same time they want to compete with a brand like Seattle Sounders with
Right.
S2. So they want to compete against the Sounders reserves, but at the same time they want the professionalism that these new standards, and it's
At a-
going to be for
At a
watching us on
price
TV.
of a third tier. Just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm very excited for the Rowdies.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
See you guys.
Okay, thank you, Adam.
Or
Again,
whatever.
Bootstrapper. All right, come on in, Kevin. While Kevin's coming in, while Kevin's coming in, just real quick, this is really important. This is breaking news.
What?
Michael Hadley,
Oh,
who we all know and love, right?
Yeah, my baby.
He just said to Mark, for somebody who thinks Dave Matthews Band is music, I fully believe your takes on food is fake news. Are fake news. So I agree with that. Your takes on food are fake news. All right, hold on. Listen, are you in the picture here? Okay, so can you two squeeze a little closer together?
Yes, we can. We've done this before.
You also tried to tell Bread that she was wrong, and
she is wrong. Bread's wrong.
Bread is never wrong, as I've
Bread
been told.
What was Bread wrong about?
She doesn't understand deep dish pizza, so it's fine. She's young. She's a kid. It's fine. No big deal. It's fine.
Bread, I just want to say I love you, baby.
Oh, me too. Bread's great, but she's wrong. So, anyways, Kevin's in here. Hi, Kevin. Shut
so,
up.
Let's
Go away. Go ahead.
So, I invited Kevin on because I had this great idea because the shitty-ass chant that has plagued
this league,
and I found out Kevin was going to be here, and I wanted his take on it, and I'm like, you know what? I can just put it on. I can just put him on the show rather than talk to him off the show. And it's Puto, and it shows up way too often in our league.
Yeah.
And Atlanta, in their opener, was plagued with it.
Yeah. Now, somebody was there real quick. Somebody was there and said they didn't. Not like when it used to be at Sounders. Not everybody heard it, right? So
yeah.
It's an interesting thing. That, I mean, I'll let you say that, but before we go too far, it's one of those things. Was it the whole crowd, or was it a small section? Was it heard, etc.? But anyways,
let me just jump in here.
Yeah, please do.
So Melissa,
yep,
one of Grandma's daughters,
yep,
was there, and I trust her implicitly. And she didn't hear it when she was there. I, as I often do, am getting drunk on Guinness and watching MLS games.
Drunk on Guinness, so like 7 of them.
You know, I will
That's a
hurt
shot
you.
at Guinness, not at
I
you.
will hurt you.
Shot at Guinness. It's a light beer.
Shot at Guinness is a shot at me.
But wait, how many other shots are you doing with your Guinness?
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that.
Okay, all right, okay.
No, but for serious.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
So Mel's there, and I trust Mel, and she looked at me and said she didn't really hear it. I was watching it and tweeting with Gay for Soccer, which if you guys aren't following on Twitter, what is wrong with you? And it was similar to watching a Colorado game, which is, wow, I guess I just shouldn't watch this game because I'm not welcome there. And I don't really feel that's the spirit of Atlanta. I mean, from my times there, that is not the spirit of Atlanta, let me tell you.
Buckhead?
What?
Buckhead, Five Corners?
Well, I mean, I've had fun there. I've had fun at the Atlanta Eagle.
Yeah,
I've had fun at Mary Mac's. I mean, we can just keep that going.
We're going to connect about Atlanta, like the city, after the show, because it was a 4-hour drive from my my Army base.
Two of 3 of Grandma's daughters that I've had the pleasure to meet are currently in Atlanta. Love you guys.
Grandma's present. We like her. So you felt that it was there strongly enough that you're like, it's not just one person, one idiot.
No, I mean, there's definitely a crew of people doing that, and I'm not really surprised by that, right? Like, there's 7 to 10 other countries that were penalized by FIFA for saying that. And I'm not surprised that another city, specifically in the South, that has a higher Latino population, are coming up with a culture where it is acceptable to say puto, not because they're homophobic, but because that is the culture they were raised in. I grew up in the South. I grew up in Texas. I grew up with screaming at my rival American football team, and I understood that, and I think a lot of that is carrying over. I also really wish I was having this conversation with Ugo across.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
It would be amazing.
Yeah.
Also, Ugo, if you're hearing me, I would love to have that conversation with you, baby.
And we can do that again. I mean, this isn't the only time you're going to come down and visit. I hope. Hopefully you'll come back. Hopefully you'll come back.
Hopefully.
I'm just saying, bitch.
I feel like I've been told.
Less than 24 hours afterwards, Atlanta United has made public statements about it. And I'm just going to read one of their quotes right here. Atlanta United does not support or condone the use of offensive language. We strive to foster a positive, enthusiastic, and inclusive environment for all of our fans, and inappropriate chants have no place at our matches. Fans found to be participating in this behavior will be subject to removal from the building.
I mean, just can I jump in here?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, I'll fracking believe that when I see it, sir. There's a lot of people that say
You can
they're
swear on
gonna
the show,
be
by the
gay.
way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
If you
good.
want to, you don't have to, but you can.
So I'll believe it if I fucking see it.
There you go.
Because I don't believe you're going to kick people out. I don't believe that you're going to go for people that are doing that, because I don't believe that you care about protecting LGBT people when when MLS in general is trying to woo the Latino, Latinx market.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you and I said this off the air. It's the right words, but they only
Yeah.
matter if they matter.
Right.
Right, like-
And it comes across like we're all white here and we're having this conversation.
I know,
And I
right.
don't want this to come across as we're mad at Hispanic people or Latin American people, or that we think that Hispanic or Latin American people are homophobic, because
No.
we don't. This is a side effect of the culture. Just like white Americans, we tend to call people we don't like bitch.
Yep.
And that's a perfect dialogue for that. The difference is, one of the last things I remember before I woke up in the hospital was being called puto.
Even in, like, you mentioned this in Texas, and you
Dallas,
in
and
that
especially
area,
in
I
Colorado.
remember high school football. You're gay. What used to be the insult.
Oh, yeah.
It used to be, what high school
That
boys
was- that
said
was-
to other high
that
school
was
boys.
rampant. in
And
high
the
school.
way it stopped was through education and knowledge, and some people had to get removed
and
from stadiums.
let's be honest, it wasn't you're gay that was
Yeah.
being yelled
Well,
at. It was you're a fag.
You're a fag.
There's
You're a
also
fag.
the
Yeah,
F6
yeah.
word, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
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 Right.
There's some I don't do. There's a C4, an F3, an F6.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I still don't say those ones.
Yeah, but it's the truth. I mean, we all grew up with it,
Right.
And it's something that what we can do is stop it in our group. My kid, I have 2 kids. You talk to them about these kind of things when they hear certain things or whatever, and you have to help stop it. You're right. We're all white here.
Right,
We all have a
and-
white privilege right here. Great.
And-
It's
We're aware that the Equipo Nacional de Mexico has called for this to stop.
Yep.
Yes.
FIFA has been
about time.
fining about 12 different countries. If you want to know who's being fined, follow Gay for Soccer, because we talk about it every 3 months
Yep.
when the
Because
fining
it's a quarterly
announcements are
fine,
announced.
yeah.
Right. So we just talk about it. Surprise, Mexico, Chile, and Argentina are generally the top offenders.
Honduras was on that list
Yeah.
the last time
Yeah.
I remember, and it was in a game against Canada. Canada was on the list, and then they got
Really? Are you going to yell
The-
queer at Canada?
No,
like,
like,
really? Come on.
They contested it, and they were like, "No, that was the Hondurans that you just fined." Atlanta's saying the right things about inclusivity. One of the other reasons what I want to talk to you was Stephen Fry at YachtCon. You were at YachtCon, right?
I was at YachtCon.
He,
You may remember the question I asked at YachtCon.
Yes, that's where I'm going. Is he said that he did two marches in Seattle
Yes.
last year, MLS Cup and Pride.
Yep.
And it's one of the things that said to me that Stephen Fry is a Seattleite.
Yep.
Like when you talk about born in Seattle and born as a Sounder, and then those that adopt it, and that told me right there, Stephen Fry believes in Seattle as an ethos, being a Sounder as part of his soul.
I get
And-
where you're coming
yeah.
from, and I would look back to you and say I think that Stephen Fry was born in Europe, and I think that LGBT inclusion is a strong part of the European Union ideals. So maybe it's not that he's a Sounder till I die, even though, I mean, you signed a star on my jacket. I fucking
Yeah.
love you.
Yeah.
But maybe that's not you being a Seattleite. That's you bringing European ideals to Seattle that
Also,
we resonate with.
he went to
Exactly.
Cal Berkeley, so that might be like
Oh,
Yeah.
fair.
yeah,
Right.
So
Fair.
yeah, he's got it. Yeah, when you look at it all with his past, Swiss, no Cal Berkeley, Toronto, he's definitely the type where the greater Puget Sound tends to feel mini Europe when compared to a lot of
Right.
and Fry kind of fits that mold in a lot of ways. So maybe there's
I want
also
to back
that.
up for a minute. Then go back to something we were
Sure.
talking about a minute ago and talk about, you mentioned the words, and you can say the words, right? We're dealing with this a lot today in the political culture. A lot of words are being said. A lot of things are being said. But
Right.
the actions are direct opposite of what we're saying. We're saying that we're pro-life, and we don't care. We're saying we care about LGBT. We don't care. I mean, we being the government right now. And this is where the actions are what's going to matter here. Because you can say whatever you want to say, but if we don't actually fix and change things, words don't fucking matter.
Gay for Soccer has said this, and I said this earlier. I'm very aware that Gavin kind of just lost his Supreme Court case after it gets reverted back to the Fourth Circuit. And
they punted, didn't they?
Yeah.
They did. They punted today.
I mean, I see what they did, and I feel like they felt a judicious way of punting, but it was a punt. And it's going to end up being that LGBT kids are going to suffer, and specifically in LGBT kids, trans kids are going to be forced to go to the wrong frickin' bathroom.
Yep.
Which is not right.
Instead of the bathroom they want to go to, which is so stupid.
Agreed.
Like, who hasn't had to go pee? Come on.
Yeah.
You know what? Just sort of a tangent. I noticed Tom mentioned this the other day on Twitter. Yelp now has a feature where they can indicate
You can sort by
if there's a trans friendly or a
gender neutral
general
bathroom.
bathroom.
Unisex
Yes.
or gender neutral bathrooms would qualify. Yeah, it's. I mean, let's be honest. I'd rather use a stall than a urinal 90% of the time, and
Right.
I'm as far from the. I mean, the only way I'm close to the LGBT community is when Kevin's sitting next to me and we're hanging out together. Like, I'm very suburban white, raised Catholic male. No, Catholic. So it's I'd rather use a unisex. I don't ever want to go back to the Kingdom era where I'm pissing in a trough that's 15 feet long.
Yeah.
Or like I was in Kuwait when like the trough was even for the sit down movement where you'd hang over the trough and then there'd be somebody 3 feet in front of you. That's not a great experience.
No.
And it doesn't matter.
Is this some sort of gay hookup bar you went to? Because it sounds like a gay hookup bar you went to.
I can assure you, I never went to a gay hookup bar in Kuwait.
Yeah, probably not in Kuwait.
I mean,
But he's saying
that you
he's
knew
been to
of.
one. Is what he's saying here.
I can talk to you about the gay hookup bars that I went to, and it's a pretty cool story.
Oh, I'm totally in for that later.
Yeah.
But okay, we'll let it go for now. Sorry, America.
No, it's all good.
But John brings up a good point here. And the problem is that they're going to go to the wrong bathrooms for them, and then they're going to be assaulted when they're in the quote unquote right bathroom.
Well,
and that's,
right. And
that's
I mean,
potentially the
that's
problem.
the problem is when you talk about these bathroom issues, you're not talking about innocent little white girls that are being raped by these weird trans men or whatever. What you're basically saying is there's a black trans girl in a bathroom and some guy's gonna fuck her stupid and you don't care.
Yep.
Is really what you're boiling down to.
Yep.
It's not that, oh my God, this little person's gonna be violated. No.
No.
And I'm willing to accept that there are people on all sides of this argument that are going to be bad actors. But, rape in a bathroom is still rape, and we can prosecute it under rape.
Yep.
We don't need to say, hey, this whole segment of society that we don't understand, well, they're bad. I think we have enough of that in our current government, and we don't need to do that, and especially not to people in my community.
So
I would say our community.
yeah, so it's our community. I was just gonna say what can we do as part of the community? I mean, we are. I'm married, straight, white male. But,
well, I mean,
you and I had our
I'm
moments.
a gay dude, right?
Yeah,
I'm not a trans person,
Right.
and I'm not currently under attack, though I'm just sort of like waiting for that shoe to drop. I would say really look at yourselves and evaluate what you think about women. And stop thinking about like what you think about women in general and think about every time you've used woman as a negative, as a slur. I.e., you're a pussy, or
The C word I won't use.
Yeah.
right, or you're a bitch or whatever. Like, really look at those things and think about what is that associating with femininity that is bothering you.
When you use that
would be a
connotation.
great way to move forward. But I still get to talk about the Sounders game that
Yeah, let's
happened,
do
right?
that.
Let's go to
Can I
that.
do that for
Let's
a
go
little
to that.
bit?
Let's
I
go to
mean,
that.
I'm
Dude,
kind
we
of
got-
tired of being the game
No,
ambassador.
No. We got about 10 minutes.
Okay,
We
so
can go for 15. I'll let the
Dempsey's back.
karaoke guy yell
Yeah.
at us.
Back again. That was really good for us.
You
to
are
see.
traveling Montreal.
I am going to Montreal.
Oh,
That's
nice.
true.
Didn't travel Houston?
I did not know
'Cause you-
because of Montreal.
Kevin
Montreal's
is
expensive.
Kevin is one of the
Travel
like
monkeys.
top 20 travelers in Sounders.
He's a
fandom.
travel monkey.
He wrote
I-
for Sounder Heart. He wrote the Mexico City
you're
visit
gonna make me
last
cry.
year.
Which was so fun because it was like we experienced that side by side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
So-
and
Oh
to,
my God.
to read your recap of it, I was like, well, yep.
Yeah,
That,
I
that
mean,
pretty much
it was
sums
accurate.
up what we felt.
It was the first time he heard it. Yes. So disappointing loss on the road. One of the weird things about a traveling fan is teams lose most of those games.
I mean, I would say that the Sounders have won about a third of the games that I've traveled to away.
Yeah.
Or have won on aggregate. I'm looking at UFC Dallas game where we technically lost, but we technically won.
How you don't just travel because you love the team. I mean, part of it's you love to
Well,
travel,
sure.
but how do you reconcile when you're planning your travel? You're like, they have a greater than 50% chance of winning at home, which means in the MLS, most teams have a lower than 50% chance of winning on the road. What do you think about that when you make your plans? Or
Sure. And I mean, I also think about, like, I went to Colorado 2 times last year, Real Salt Lake 2 times, and
April.
Dallas 2 times.
Yeah.
Each time knowing I was going to hear Puto the entire season. Sorry, RSL,
Yeah.
that doesn't want to admit that happens, but it does. And when I go to those games, I think about, well, who in the Sounder supporters that I know is going to those games? Who can I go have fun with? Who do I know is originally from those cities that I'll meet
Exactly.
there
Yep.
and party? I mean, just total shout out to the Heartland Horde. You guys are so amazing and take
Oh,
care
yeah.
of
you're
me.
big on that Midwest travel.
Oh my God. They're always there for me. Heartland Horde is always there. Bourbon Squad's always there.
Are you doing Chicago away?
I'm totally going to Chicago away. Hadley's gonna give me a tattoo.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Well, his shop is.
Well, right. I'm just gonna pretend
hope it's
because
not Michael.
I'm kind of in a
don't-
relationship with Hadley he doesn't know about.
Don't let
fine.
him do
You and all of us.
Don't let him
Right?
do the ink.
Yeah, but like
He
me
should
even
handle
more
the
so.
business transaction aspect, not
Yeah,
the,
I'm just
he's not the-
assuming he's
yeah.
found someone pretty to take care of me.
It's likely true. So it's the traveling aspect is who you're going to see, who's traveling with you, and then there's the team, and they for the most part, I think they've missed it a couple times or where only a handful of the players, but for the most part, it's the whole team that comes over
Right.
afterwards to thank, except for some rough losses.
I mean, I was there in Kansas City when nobody really showed up, outside of a few people. I mean, that's really hard because some of those aways, you understand why they want to go away. Like, they're trying to process through something and they need to go back to their group, their hive, to talk about this game and figure out where things are wrong. And I get that. I really do. And I think some of the times what they really needed to do was say they were not there and reward the fans for showing up and being there because they have gone through that process and they're, I don't really know what's going on in the locker room. I really love that Brian Schmetzer has shown us a little bit more of that.
Yep.
I feel there's a little bit more ass chewing by Brian Schmetzer, phrasing, that he's not really shown us. And I believe that's there. And I believe that if you looked back at the game against Houston, that's what happened at halftime. Was he went in there and was basically like, "I will fire all of you if you do not perform."
It's funny. All of his public statements about how are you so good at halftime? He's like, we just made the changes we needed to make.
Yeah.
It's like, what'd you do? Those changes.
Yeah.
Like, he's so vague and doesn't actually address it, which is fun. I'm wondering how long that'll last. I mean, it's interesting because there have been a few times where I've asked Brian questions that I think are totally fair, and he's like, "What are you trying to do to me, Dave?" And I'm like, "I'm just trying to learn more about soccer." Yeah. When you go to Montreal,
Yeah.
they're coming off a 2-1 loss.
Right.
The worst half of soccer ever in the Sounders' history.
Well, no, they've been worse.
Oh, wait, for Nico Ladero. Sorry.
I was there for the game that we lost 3-0 in Kansas City. I don't believe this was the worst half.
No, ever.
In Sounders history.
I would
Thank
agree.
you.
I 100% agree. That was the worst game.
That and
That LA 4-0 drop.
That-
And I mean,
LA
I
4-0,
realized
yeah.
this is not a popular opinion, and maybe I'm being proven wrong, but that was the moment that I was done with Dempsey.
I was
the
done with
Sporting Kansas
Mears.
City. That
Yeah.
was Mears was the one that
He
Mears.
did not come over and wave to us, and then he was out for like the rest of the year, and I was like, okay, well, we're done with you then.
Yeah.
We want a cup without you.
Yeah.
What do you want to see on the field in Montreal over there at Saputo Stadium, Stade Saputo?
I mean, and
What
I
do you
didn't get to hear your commentary on the game. I would say I felt that I feel like we have a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-2-4 that we run. If you want to argue about where Jordan Morris's placement was during the game, he was not playing a 1. I felt that he was playing a 4-2-4. And the problem with that I felt, right or wrong, was that Ozzy and Christian Roldan, both of whom are my anchors and my rocks, were not my anchors and my rocks this game.
That's what we talked about.
He didn't listen to the game, but he's repeating what I've said.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
awesome.
I
Yeah.
really can't tell you if it's Christian's fault or Ozzy's fault. I feel like there's a lot of people that would want to put it towards Ozzy because of his performance in the MLS Cup final and all the injuries he hurt. But once you take out the 2 in our 4-2-3-1 or 4-2-4, it really shows up, and I felt that's what I was seeing.
Yep.
Yeah, they're the anchors, and it didn't go well. So
they
you
were
want to
not.
see more from them, passing, tackling, like basically just everything
mean,
from those two.
I have no reason to say this, but I want to see both of them angry and hungry. Show me an angry and hungry Roldan and Ozzy and Osvaldo, and we have a midfield right now that is a little uncertain. I feel after watching that game, and I feel like our back line can take it. And I feel like if those two got hungry, that would open up our attacking mid and possibly one forward. I'm not giving that to Jordan right now. To score more goals or be more attacking friendly. And I
No.
legitimately did not hear you guys earlier.
No,
that's
this is
perfect.
like this is on point. Because it's the truth.
It makes me think I'm smart, and that's really the entire advantage of.
I love
like,
it.
the only reason I come on with Mark and Aaron is so that I can feel smarter.
Oh, well, I'm glad I could
Right?
help.
No, it's
Right?
just to take shots at those two.
Oh wait,
I
we
love
were
them.
still talking. I lost.
I
So-
can't insult Aaron too much today
So I
because
was
he's
saying, what are you
helping me
doing tomorrow? Yeah, because I'm busy tomorrow now.
He's helping me move tomorrow. So.
By the way, Chris, you're amazing. I love you, Tropic Sound.
Yeah.
Oh,
Traffic,
okay,
yes.
good. I was glad that connection got made. I was
Yeah.
like,
Love it. All right. Any last thoughts, comments, questions from you out there watching, or you want to say, Kevin? Dave?
Why do you like
Mark?
bad pizza?
I don't like bad pizza. I like good pizza. Oh, we should do the SonarFeed question.
Oh, yeah.
Biggie or Tupac?
we're going to rapid fire sonar
Oh,
feed questions.
Tupac, oh my God.
Excellent. I love
Favorite
you.
Girl Scout cookie?
Thin Mint, all the way. Screw you freaking samosas, or Samoas, or whatever you are.
Tagalongs.
You're walking
Yeah.
home.
It's Thin Mints and Tagalongs. So yeah, I'm with you.
I hope you
If
stretch.
when somebody makes a
Did you
movie,
hear Mark being pretty?
when somebody makes a movie about Kevin's life, what actor will be Kevin?
Oh, actor to play me?
Yeah.
Kevin Costner.
He goes Kevin Costner.
What famous person would you want to go into a bouncy house with?
A bouncy house
Yeah.
with? Oprah.
Wow. All right. Good. Last book you read?
God, the Anatomy of Fascism.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Top timely.
Yeah, very timely.
Favorite taco.
Oh God.
I'm doing these all from memory.
Lingua
Yeah.
con queso.
Wait, say that one.
Something with
Lingua
cheese.
con queso.
Oh, tongue and cheese.
Oh, yes.
Preferably with a good tomatilla salsa, but I know that's really hard to get because I'm not in Texas where tomatillas grow.
Yeah. My wife makes a really damn good tomatillo. So it's amazing. I love it. She lived in Texas for a while.
Yeah.
So, something you bought for under $100 that's made a big impact on your life.
Last year. Within the
Oh,
last
wow.
year. Like, small purchase anyone
I was
should
in
and could
San
make.
Don't
Francisco.
count.
You don't know me?
They're
Wait.
playing the music to
You
get us
know
off the
me.
stage.
Yeah.
I spent $10 on a tea tray, and it totally revolutionized my life.
There you go.
Oh.
I've got a question that I think we need to add to the regulars. Favorite former sounder.
Chad Barrett.
I like it.
I
Kinda-
mean, I want to say Lamar Nagel, but kind of Chad Barrett.
Okay.
Yep.
Pineapple on your pizza, yes or no?
Hell no. I support people's right to make a horrible pizza decision choice.
Do we got anything else?
Like Aaron.
They're trying to play us off the stage.
Aaron's just trying not to hit me.
Do you like deep dish pizza?
Yeah,
Good.
I like all
You can come
pizzas.
back. Thank you. Thank you.
Does this mean I don't have to come back?
Thanks for
Yes.
coming on, Kevin.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Kevin.
much.
Yes.
Kevin, where'd you get your T-shirt?
I got this place at Sound Art Heart.
Nice.
And I really love wearing the shirt because people don't get it. And I'm like, okay, well, I feel like
It
I'm
kinda
telling you
says
exactly
it.
what it is.
It's 15 different
Oh.
ways to say soccer, and then it says life.
Montreal game prediction.
Oh, God.
Do you want to wait? Mark, you first.
Oh, yeah.
3-1.
3-1 Montreal.
Yes. Season. Time to picnic.
Mark just picked Lamar to score in Montreal.
Yes.
You have a prediction?
2-0 win.
2-0 win. Okay.
1-0 Sounders and 3-0 Kevin.
Kevin,
Oh.
Excellent.
if I was fast, I would look up hat trick in French right now.
yeah,
but
exactly. Yes. All right.
I'm not
Cheers,
fast.
everybody. Thanks for a good show. Thanks for coming on, Dave. As always, have fun moving tomorrow. Let me know
By
how it goes.
myself now,
Let me know
'cause
how
I
it goes.
insulted
Thank you
Yeah.
very much for having me on. This was
Anytime.
Let's
Come
have you
down.
on more.
a memory. Thank
yeah,
you very
I'll come down
much.
some more. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back next week
Bye-bye.
to talk about Montreal and other stuff.
And stuff.
And stuff.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.